What's going on, everyone? So in this episode of Sequels That Don't Need to Exist, let's talk about Black Phone 2. So we got the first little poster, and it literally is just Black Phone 2 in theaters, October 17th. Now, Black Phone, I enjoyed. Thought it was a really good movie. A lot of people seem to really enjoy it. But, of course, when a movie has success and people like it, they have to do it again. Problem is that was about as airtight, conclusive of a film as you could get, right? For those that haven't seen the film, I don't know why you'd click on a video for Black Phone 2, but I'll give you a minute to try to escape and get out of here before I dive into the actual film, right? First one. 3, 2, 1. All right, still here. I assume that you don't care. Well, in the original Black Phone, we saw the killer die, right? Died. And thus, it's like, well, what, is he coming back as a zombie? Right? Like, what's the plan here? What's the play here? Right? Are they going to go a completely different killer? Is it going to go a completely different route? Well, the whole point was that you had this spiritual phone, this black phone that was in this basement where the kid was trapped and all the past victims tried to help him. Right? So what, are we just going to do another adaptation? Is he coming back and he's alive? Like, it's really... Again, I've said this and I'll say it again. Not every film needs to have a sequel. You don't have to make sequels. You don't have to make requels. You don't have to do all that stuff. There are some films that are best to just, hey, just be left alone. And understand Hollywood is in shambles right now, is an absolute mess and trying to, grasp at straws and do whatever they can. But again, like, why not come up with another idea? Even if it's just like similar to the Black Phone. Or at least it's a different movie, right? Like, it's just, how are you going to tie this in? But, according to the studios, that's what they're going to do, right? But as far as the plot summary goes, reading this, so The Black Phone 2 is a sequel to the 2021 horror film, The Black Phone, and is described as a high school coming-of-age movie, focusing on the continued story of Finney and his sister Gwen, who have grown up and potentially facing new supernatural challenges. You know what this feels like to me? A movie that's not going to be about the Black Phone, right? What I think this is that this is going to be a continued story centered around the main characters that survived, the kids that survived, the brother and sister that are now going to go into a new film, and it's going to be this new story with supernatural elements, and because the sister has like that connect, now the brother probably has the connect, and it's going to become something that it's not. And it's going to become a movie that isn't the Black Phone, and thus proves my point of they should have just made a different movie. They should have just made a different movie that was not the Black Phone, that was something else. And, maybe tell a different idea. Maybe tell a different story. Or maybe do the same idea, just not have it be a continuation to the Black Phone. Right? Maybe just let it go. Right? It's okay. You don't have... Studio, come, look at me. Look, hey, right here. Okay? You don't have to make sequels to everything. Some movies are just great as is. Some movies don't require and don't necessarily need that. You wonder why people don't want to go to movies. You have to create bowling alleys and, pickleball and all this stuff to try to get people to go watch a movie. And guess what? They're not really watching a movie. Maybe it's because you keep making sequels that don't need to be made. Just my thought. Just my opinion. Maybe I went a little too long with that bit, but you get the point. It is incredibly frustrating. They keep making these sequels and these requels and all these things, and more often than not, they're terrible. Right? They made Exorcist the Believer awful. So bad they had to fire the entire team. Was David Gordon Green ended up losing his job, and he was the main guy. They're making 2 more films. Strangers Chapter 1, everyone was like, hey, we already watched this movie. They were like, hey, I know you guys did, but guess what? Part 2, that's the part that you're really going to love, right? It's just like, even Halloween, like, you had Halloween 18, solid. Felt like a Halloween movie. Everyone kind of loved it. Unanimously. That film was like, okay, this is a Halloween movie. Halloween Kills kind of was like 50-50. right? People seem to either like love that movie or hate that movie. And then Halloween Ends, you know, everyone was like, yeah, this is awful. Right? You just took a sharp left and it just didn't work. And it missed the plot. Right? And it's just, you look at all these films that continuously keep being pumped out, and the consensus thought is like, hey, this is just not very good. And they usually have like the legacy characters, all this stuff, and they don't make any sense. And it's this mess. It really is. It's this absolute mess that the problem is they're just going to keep doing it. And it's like the definition of insanity, right? At this point, it's like, you do something over and over again, expected a different result. Right? Yet the studios just keep doing this, and they go, well, no one wants to watch movies, man. Like, what do you want us to do? Right? Like, we're losing all this money. We're losing millions. And it's like, yeah. It's like you're doing it deliberately. It's like you purposely, it's like you have some like vendetta against yourself or something. Like, it is so bizarre. But I digress, right? This video kind of became something. kind of went down a sharp turn. But the video is the video, right? At the end of the day, what this film is probably going to be is it's probably going to be something that is completely unrelated to the first film, right? Outside of like the characters that were in the first film. Maybe they have something where the black phone keeps popping up and raining, but it's like supernatural now. And like that's the gateway or something. But even then it's like, come on, like the whole point of the first film was perfect, right? Like, it made sense, fit. Was it a perfect movie? No. Did it have its flaws? Absolutely. But it was good, right? I credit them for, the creativity and originality. The Aqu was great. Like, it served its point. It served its purpose. And it was like, hey, you guys did right. Did good, Tater. And then decided to just, I don't even know. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why they're making a sequel to The Black Phone 2, but they are. And, well, we're going to have to live with it. I'm going to have to see how this all plays out, how this works out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? First off, do you agree? Do you think, yeah, the Black Phone, it didn't need to exist, right? The part 2, at least, right? First one, fine, great, loved it, perfect, beautiful. Let's go. Part 2 doesn't need to exist. Do you kind of feel the same way I do, where it's going to be like, it's going to almost be its own movie that's like unrelated to the first one outside of like the characters and supernatural elements, right? Like I said, maybe the Black Phone just like magically appears in places at times and stuff. Maybe they do something like that. I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, execution, storytelling, and delivery is everything. So maybe it'll be great. Maybe, I look back and go, okay, like that was good. We'll see. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And that subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.